Most people think burning sage is always safe. But the truth is, sage isn't just cleansing, it's a key. And when you strike the match, you're not just clearing energy, you're opening a doorway. Without sealing, that doorway doesn't close. And anything lingering in the dark is invited in. That's why so many feel worse after burning sage. Because they called the smoke, but never locked the gate. The ancients never burned sage on its own. They knew the smoke was a signal, a call into the unseen. But every call needed a seal. They used salt at the doors, symbols carved into the earth, chants to lock the gate shut, because they understood smoke without sealing is like opening your front door and walking away. This knowledge was stripped away, leaving people with only half a ritual, the half that weakens them. What really happens when you burn sage without sealing, you're not just clearing energy, you're sending up a beacon. The smoke is a flare in the astral which says, "Here I am, open door." And the ones waiting in the shadows see it instantly. Demons, parasites, astral wanderers, they follow the smoke back to you. That's why instead of peace, many feel a sudden heaviness, a dark presence pressing in. The sage didn't fail, the ritual did, because the seal was missing. Sage was never meant to stand alone, it was the opener, not the closer. The true protection comes from sealing, salt at the thresholds, the ancient firewall, words spoken with authority, only source may pass. And fire, the element of finality drawn in the air as a lock. With the seal, the smoke clears, without it, the smoke calls. This is the part they stripped away, leaving you with a ritual that works against you. Half a truth is more dangerous than a lie. Sage isn't evil, it was never meant to be feared. It is one of the oldest allies of the flame, but power without understanding becomes a trap. The parasites twisted the knowledge. They gave you half a ritual, knowing half-truths are more dangerous than lies. They knew if you used sage without the seal, you'd become the beacon, the light they follow straight to your door. The ancients paired smoke with command, salt with fire, word with will. The ritual was never one thing. It was always a weaving opener and closer, call and lock. So when you burn sage, remember, you're calling, but you are also commanding. Without the seal, the call is endless. With it, the space becomes untouchable. This is why so many feel worse after cleansing, because they were never taught to close what they opened. The smoke is not weak, the ritual is incomplete. And when you complete it, sage becomes what it was always meant to be, a weapon of light. The parasites knew sage was dangerous to them. They knew the smoke was fire in plant form, a purifier, a weapon of the flame. So what did they do? They inverted it, they stripped away the seal and taught the world only half the code. Now people light it, wave it and think they're safe. But instead of cleansing, they're calling. Instead of shielding, they're exposed. The smoke alone is a flare in the dark. It says, "Here's an open gate, enter." And every shadow lurking nearby rushes in to feed. The parasites designed it this way because an incomplete ritual is still an agreement. And every agreement is consent. That's how they bind you, not through power, but through tricks. They turn your own hand against you. Remember this, sage was never the danger, ignorance was. And the parasites have thrived on keeping you blind. Sage is not the enemy, it is fire disguised as leaf, a weapon gifted from the ancients. But the weapon was split in half, and half a weapon turns against the one who wields it. The ancients always completed the circle, salt at the door, flame in the air, word on the breath. Only then was the space untouchable. When you burn sage today, don't just call, command. Don't just cleanse, seal. Because the parasites cannot cross a closed gate, they need you to leave it ajar. That's why they gave you the smoke but hid the seal. Finish the ritual, and what was once a snare becomes your shield. Mirrors and water are next. Mirrors are gates, cover them during the cleanse. Place a bowl of water in the centre of the room. The smoke falls into it, the parasites cling to it. When you're done, you carry it outside, pour it away, and never bring it back in. Iron and sound finish the lock. An iron nail at the bed or threshold pins down wanderers. Then you strike a bell or bowl clockwise, sound stitches the seal. The order is everything, ground yourself. Call the flame, burn the smoke clockwise. Lock the corners, seal the threshold. Sound the stitch, and only then command the close. If you reverse it, you break it. If you forget it, you weaken it. And here is how you know if it worked. The air becomes lighter. Your chest loosens, the corners go still. No crawling static, and when you dream that night, you are not chased. If you are chased, the gate is still open. Sage opens the door, seals keep it shut. But when you're dealing with hungry things, you need more than pretty smoke. The ancients built locks, not just smoke and whispers, but layers of protection. First comes the four-corner lock, salt dropped into each corner of the room. In each corner you whisper, only source may remain, all else depart without return. With 2 fingers you draw a flame sigil in the air, then clap once to set it. Then the threshold shield, at every entrance, doors, windows, even vents, a thin line of salt. Tap the frame 3 times with the back of your knuckles. Breathe out across the line. That breath binds the field, and you finish with a single word, closed. If you make it worse, there is an emergency lock. Kill the smoke, turn the lights on, open the windows, stand at the door with your palm out. Say, by source flame, I revoke consent, depart now. Lay a salt wall across the doorway, sit inside it and breathe for 3 minutes. Then repeat the ritual properly. When it is complete, take the ash and water outside. Wash your hands in cold water with salt. Shake the water away, never keep it. And always finish with this, sealed in, source closed. 1 time with authority, no negotiating. The last lock is always the word, not whispered, not doubted, but spoken with the weight of command. When the ritual is done, you don't ask them to leave. You don't hope they've gone, you end it. You face the room, you stand in your flame, and you say sealed in, source closed. Once with authority, that word shuts the gate. It cuts the tether. It nails the door shut behind them. This is why many people fail. They mumble. They plead. They don't know the authority they carry. But your voice is the hammer. Your breath is the flame. Your word is the lock. And if you feel the air still thick, if your dreams are still haunted, repeat it again, louder, sharper, until the air itself shifts. That final word is the key. Without it, you've only stirred the dark. With it, you've closed the gate. They told you sage was enough. They told you smoke alone could cleanse. But you've seen the truth now. Without seals, smoke is only a flare in the dark. Demons don't fear smoke. They fear authority. They fear flame. They fear when you remember who you are. Because when you stand at the threshold and your voice carries the weight of source, no shadow can linger, no parasite can feed, no gate stays open. You are not begging, you are not hoping, you are commanding. The final weapon was never the sage, it was never the ritual. It was always you, your breath, your word, your flame. Remember this when the smoke clears. Only the sealed ones remain untouched, and the sealed ones are the ones who know,